Okay, so before I even start this review, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. If you hate endings that are inconclusive or you actually have to read the manga, not doing yourself any favors by watching this. So that is my disclosure to you. But for the people that actually, you know, would like to watch it, here's my thoughts on the project. So we have our main MC, Takashi, and his, I guess, person that gets him into the action of this world that we're about to build, Mui. So the show takes place. It's a pretty cliche-esque story plot. You've got a one side of Earth, which is the human world, and the world's split into two pieces, and they've got this other world, which is where all the wizards live. Now, with that being said, you've got your cliche, obviously, like I said, Takashi, and you're going to be your MC through the series, and he's going to school, and he hates kind of his life, like the usual. MC hates his home life, doesn't want to go home. He has this girl that I guess he's been friends with since childhood, and he was faking being her girlfriend. They had like a mutual agreement to fake being girlfriend and boyfriend for stalkers. She had stalkers because she was pretty, pretty girl, and so they have that fake relationship. But he doesn't go to kendo class one day because Moi shows up from the magical world. Now, all settled. What we find out that if your magic leaks onto somebody in the human world, they actually become a wizard if they're under a certain age limit. And so he becomes a magic person. He's trying to save her from the action of, I guess, the main subplot where her brother's actually being controlled by bad guys. And so that happens. And the action kind of continues. That's just kind of the basic beginning of it. Come to find out that him and all his friends end up getting magic too, and they go over to this other world. And when they're in this other world, they kind of get a choice to decide if they're going to keep going magic or not going magic. So they end up keep going magic. Pretty much from there, it just goes about training, and he has brother problems, believe it or not. They don't get along. They kind of have this like nemesis. The other brother's like a piece of shit, anti-MC. He's not exactly the villain, but the villain in this series doesn't even really get to do anything. And that's where I was getting to earlier, because once they get them all set up and primed, the series essentially ends before they can even finish the plot that leads to the end plot of this war. So, I kind of understand now when I went on my anime list and seen that this was like a 5.9, and I didn't see why the whole time I was watching it, because I thought it was superb. We had Madhouse Studios doing it, and I know they've done a few good things here and there. The visuals are pretty, not over the top, but not subpar. The plot goes through. It's not a groundbreaking anime, okay? You got an MC, gets powers, they go in this other world, and drama happens with family. He's got two chicks that want him. It's a typical cliche-esque magic fantasy anime slash, I don't want to say slightly shonen. But to make up for that, we get these actually decently well put together action scenes that I'd say definitely rise above the bottom tier bar. I'd say almost mid. I've seen way better action scenes, but for something that's essentially a one-off, they do fantastic. And not only that, but the story does actually glide through pretty good. Am I going to remember it through all the hundreds I've watched? Not necessarily. But it'll stick out enough where somebody says the name or talks about it. I'm like, yeah. Oh, yeah, that one is really good. And the soundtrack, the outro and the intro are such bangers. I am a sucker for bass slaps. And that outro has all that you need. So out of a score of 1 through 10 on Mal, I would give this honestly a 6.5. Just my opinion. Like I said, it has redeeming qualities. The story's good enough. The characters are not exactly original, and neither is the story, but it has a certain cuteness to it, and I love it. I'd recommend giving it a watch. So that is my 5-minute review for the day. Thank you all for coming, and we will see you in the next video. Have a good night. Oyasumi.
スバルくんのせいです。ゴロゴロゴロゴロゴロゴロゴロゴロ。
猫か。